Bitcoin, guys, has exploded to over $50,000 in literally a blink of an eye. We're starting to see prices soar to levels we haven't seen in many years. Now, we've made videos on this previously on how February typically is quite a bullish month for the cryptocurrency market, more so than January usually is. And if we just simply Google search Bitcoin monthly history, you can see the first link here on CoinGlass pretty much reveals that this is the truth here. And we were talking about this over and over again all of last month. You can see the average performance for Bitcoin is over 13%. In a median, about 15% every month on average for February here. And you can see January is a measly 0.2% is the median, with an average of 3% rising. So of these 12 years, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 12 years is usually bearish, and then 2 out of the 12 years is usually bearish in February here, which is why we're seeing such an incredible rise in price. Now, we are going to look at whether or not this is a good short or long opportunity for Bitcoin. Obviously, we've been long on Bitcoin for a very long time now, but almost all the cryptocurrencies have had a solid buy-in opportunity, which is something we do have to go over and we do have to discuss here, especially if we just zoom out really quickly. You can see we've just been soaring since we got the original symmetrical triangle breakout here. We have literally been soaring to the upside here. We also have Ethereum, which is exploding as well from its symmetrical triangle. Solana exploding outside of its bull flag formation here. And we have XRP slowly but surely breaking out of its lower high, which we figured, and we're starting to come back up to our price target right at about 56 cents, which we talked about. You can see ever since we discussed the downtrend here, once we confirmed that breakout outside the descending triangle, we knew we would be seeing a rally to the upside, which is exactly what is happening now. So I'm very impressed with the market returns and the market movements like this. But with that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's jump right into today's episode. Also, besides the technical analysis, we are going to be looking at this article basically talking about the fact that we haven't seen a $50,000 mark hit since December of 2021, which is absolutely nuts. But I want to start off today's video looking at XRP. Now, we made a video yesterday here, which was quite controversial, which is actually crazy to me. But XRP holders, we are exploding to the upside here. Now, I was referencing in the main video that Bitcoin is exploding to 50K here. Yes, I understand XRP is not seeing an explosive market movement like Bitcoin is. I get that. The video is focused on was focused on Bitcoin. Now, if you watch the video, you would have understood that here. XRP is seeing some moves to the upside here. It's not nearly as explosive as we've seen it happened before, because that's typically, in my opinion, going to come after we break through this moving average here. Then I would expect to see that explosive run. But the main focal point was on Bitcoin's parabolic bull run to the upside here. So I'll work on my titles a little bit better so you guys aren't that confused. I mean, I figured you guys could figure it out, but apparently some of you guys need a little extra help, and that's okay. I'll make that very clear a little bit later in today's or in the next coming videos. Now, lots of things we got to talk about. Lots of things we have to look at. Lots of things are quite apparent here. It's quite exciting to see such a parabolic market. You can see overall the current coin market cap is at 75 on the Fear and Greed Index. We're trading at up 1.3, almost at $2 trillion, which is nuts here. You can see right now for Bitcoin, it's up 16% for the week. Same thing with Ethereum here. Lots of these cryptos are up double digits. 12% for Solana. XRP is kind of slowly catching up. 20% for Avalanche here. Every crypto is just exploding and just parabolically going off a cliff right now to the upside here. And we talked about this in depth yesterday. We've been tracking this for quite a long time. A week ago here, we mentioned the fact that Bitcoin is going to see its halving shortly. We would see runs. We go back even earlier, many months earlier here, and you can see, or weeks earlier here, and you can see how we've pretty much talked about the Solana breakout bouncing off its uptrend here, most likely going to be swinging to the upside. I mean, it's months we've been going back, long-term expectations of breakouts here. I'm not going to click on these previous videos, but we were mentioning that this breakout was indeed going to be happening, and it would have long-term effects in February here, which is typically a bullish month year over year, as you can see clear as day here. I mean, it has been every single time since 2013, 61%, 2013, small dip in 2014. But then look, 2015, 16, 17, 18. I mean, almost every time we're up, on average 15%. So the likelihood that we see it rally us up in February for this year is significantly higher than it was last year here. And it's historically proven, and we're seeing the results and the fruit of our labor. So it's quite exciting to see the results actually happen here. And it's going to be even more ramped up as we near towards the latter part of this year when the halving actually hits. So I'm very excited to see the returns on here. Now, before we continue any further, I want to go over a news article with you. And you know where a great source of crypto news can be found? With today's sponsor, the VRSOLDIER. You see, the VRSOLDIER is one of my favorite cryptocurrency news sites because not only is it free, but they also focus on some of the top layer 1 blockchains I'm most interested in. Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Tron, all my favorite cryptos all in one place. At VRSOLDIER, they pride themselves on being the foremost authority on specialized cryptocurrency related topics, providing us with the latest news and comprehensive information, which is why I highly recommend you bookmark them so you can stay up to date at a moment's notice and even follow along with the articles in my videos. The VRSOLDIER also has an incredible editorial team and market research division who collectively possess over a quarter century of experience, making them well equipped to provide us with unparalleled insights and analysis on currently trending topics. As you can see, they have specific blockchain sections, which allows you to stay up to date with the latest developments concerning Near Protocol, Phantom, Solana, and even yield farming with just a click of a button. So with that being said, make sure to stay informed and check out VRSOLDIER down in the description below. Otherwise, let's check out this article. Now, diving into the article here, you can see Bitcoin hitting 50,000 mark for the first time since December of 2021, which is absolutely astounding. Now, we talked about this in the past a couple of days ago, but I want to talk about it again because I feel like it is so important. And everybody who's new here needs to understand what could have caused this rise and why we expect to see the rise happen even more. Now, we do have the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. We also have, which is a way for normal, typical people to put money in. And actually, the Bitcoin Grayscale ETF is doing quite well if we look it up, which is nuts. I would just rather prefer buying into, let's do the chart. I would just rather buy into Bitcoin. That's just, in my opinion, what seems the best. But you can see it's been on a run for quite some time now here. You can see since the start, it went up quite a bit in February of 2021, but since then, we were at $8 here and have now rallied up to $46 from 22 to 46. But it literally tracks Bitcoin to a T. This is just another way to enter with real, fiat currency. So if you have a Fidelity account, a brokerage, whatever, you have no idea how to buy Bitcoin, this would be like the other way to do it because it literally just tracks that. So, end of December of 2022 was the low point for Bitcoin here anyway. So it wouldn't matter which one you buy into. The low point of 2022 is right here. You can see this is the low point on Bitcoin. And now that we've rallied up, the same exact thing's happening to the Bitcoin Grayscale chart. So it makes sense, but it's just another way that other people, older people that don't understand crypto can put money into Bitcoin without having such a complicated method of doing so, which is totally respectable. But beyond that here, we also have the halving, which is coming fairly soon, which I expect to really influence the market overall, especially in the very near future for this year. You can see right here, after the 50,000 level achieved, which happened 2 months before the halving, many investors are anticipating Bitcoin price to make a hit of 70,000 all-time high last seen on November 8th of 2021, and it's very likely. I mean, there's multiple reasons why we would expect to see these runs actually start to take off. But yet again, huge shout out to VRSOLDIER. Huge. I do love their website a lot. They get a lot of interesting, constant news, constantly being pumped up. That's just not many other news articles talk about here. So definitely make sure to check them out down in the description below. But looking at these other cryptos here, you can see Bitcoin, or XRP is slowly completing what we talked about here. If you've been a subscriber on the channel and you've watched these videos, you've known time and time again, we were directly talking about XRP heading up. It was clear as day. It was expected. It was taking a long-term time. We had a downtrend here literally since the start of November of 2023 with just consistent rejection off this downtrend here. But we said the second we break through this downtrend, we're going up. It's textbook, descending triangle textbook breakout. And that, look, it is exactly what we did. I mean, you don't need to be a rocket scientist. You don't need to be an engineer to figure this stuff out. We're undervalued, a heck of a lot below moving average, and we were in some sort of sandwich here. You can see clear as day. Lower high, lower low, filling this gap in, getting stuck, and then here we are. blasting off right up to moving average, which is expected. And then we're going to have some decisions to make, whether or not we can break through this, because that's when I would expect to see prices absolutely explode. But otherwise, just a small long-term hold on Bitcoin. Since 51, you'd be up just a chunk of change here. You can see overall price range run, you'd be up almost 8%, which is pretty nuts for XRP. Now, the other cryptos like Solana, another easy buy-in opportunity, you'd be up 22% on your investment. Again, super easy, super simple, super expected. We discussed multiple times how clear as day we were forming a bull flag formation here. That this, once confirmed closure on the daily, would be a long-term buy for the upside. And you can see it did take a little bit here. It took a little bit of time, but inevitably it's completing exactly the price target that we expected. 19 days, a little bit less than 3 weeks. We could legit go back on previous videos here, many weeks in the past here, and I can show you where we were seeing the Solana price chart and how once we confirm closure outside of the bull flag, it is expected and anticipated to see a rally to the upside. So let's pull this up super quick just to reference in the past how we have mentioned the fact that these bull flags typically break us to the upside here. This is XRP. Here's the Solana chart. A lot of you guys wanted me to go over and discuss Solana with where we kind of expect to see the breakout occur. And I just want to pull it up. It's taken a while for me to kind of reference the price point. You can see here kind of where we were expecting as we were starting to sandwich into here. It's expected that we would break out of it to the upside, possible correction to the downside. But ideally, this is the price point that we needed to break. It's hit or miss here, but once we fill this gap in, a decision is going to have to be made. And typically with these bull flags, it is to the upside here. So you can see clear as day, we had a resistance, a downtrend, we had the bottom support, and whichever breaks first would be that buying opportunity. So we confirmed closure above this resistance, and you can see it was just a long-term hold, and we've now swung ourselves to the upside. Same thing applies with Ethereum here. Beautiful symmetrical triangle filling in the gap. Once we confirm closure, buy in for the long term, and boom, here we are again, up 23%. Absolutely incredible. Now, looking at Bitcoin, you can see quite a bunch of interesting decisions. We do have this long ascending fractal we've been trending in. We've also drawn an uptrend here in yellow that we were using as a support, and you can see we've also had a symmetrical triangle. We're going to get smaller and smaller and smaller into this, but you can see on the symmetrical triangle here, once confirmed closure above top resistance, we broke out. As we zoom in even closer to the 2-hour, you can see how much so this symmetrical triangle was having an impact on the market. Once that confirmation happened, that was the opportunity to buy in. Then we had a couple bull flags here. You can see another kind of descending fractal, breaks to the upside, symmetrical or ascending triangle, which we talked about the other day, which would reference a downtrend. But again, when you're trading on the hourly and the 2-hour charts, it is extremely aggressive. And here we are again forming another indicator. If we draw some sort of resistance up top here, just like that, we can then draw some sort of support right here, just like that. And you can now see an ascending fractal. This is the opposite of what happens. Look, similarly, you can see right here, I'm just going to draw this in however we want to do it, something like that. Yeah, there we go. You can see here in the past, we had a descending fractal. This broke us up. Here we are with an ascending fractal. You can see these typically break us down. So the target would be closer to moving average at about 50K. So a $2,000 correction. But that opportunity to buy in will come once we confirm closure on the hourly charts below this support. Then I would expect to see a correction to the downside. And it's most likely going to happen. S&P still consolidating, but doing incredibly well. And that's your market update. So with that being said, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.